Hello, guys. Usually Yuri with you today. And this workshop for you, if you feel sometimes overwhelmed, overthinking, stressed out, depressed, or irritated because of something going on around. And this is only if you want to take back control of your life. And it's not just like promises that I'm giving to you. I be able to share with you some practical tools that I use on everyday basis. And understand me right, please. I'm not somebody who wants to coach you or teach you. This is really can be very interesting for you if you're just looking for some information. And it will be very beneficial for you if you in the spot that no more, I want to really get back my life together. And I need some additional tools, not just from the intellectual perspective, but I want to practice something and feel how it works for me. So this is for you. And this whole channel about that. And you see my English not perfect. It's not my native language. My workshop pictures and presentation also didn't perfect. But my intent is perfect. And this is what I'm doing like more than decade. I'm helping people working with their own potential that they have, open up something that they want to make happen in their life in different areas. So this is something that really can be beneficial if you will practice it with your own feelings today. And I can share with you something that I experienced. That's something that my clients and patients experience. This is what I'm doing as a holistic doctor and transformational coach years. Most important is for me specifically right now, it's your experience. So reach me out in social media, drop in the comments everything that you think about that, and additional maybe questions. Use your AI support to dive in more because you will not just stare in a talking head. I prepare for you some interesting questions and some pictures that they will help you to reflect more, dive inside yourself more. Because behind my story, you have your own story, and we all humans. So it will resonate. Just let it enter and feel how it will goes. And give me any feedback. And subscribe, of course, times up, like, and share if you feel that this will be beneficial for you and for somebody who really needs these tools. And because I'm continue learning, and I want to say that I learned from my teachers. My favorite one is Tony Robbins, Eckhart Tolle, Bruce Lipton, Viktor Frankl, and others that I'm continue learning, studying, and practicing. But interesting that I'm studying right now. I'm learning. My mentor, biggest mentor right now, it's my son. This is his. I make a picture when I give him this con. He don't know how to talk yet. He know just few words and barely count. Like he can say something like some noises. But he really teach me a lot about presence, about exploring. And I heard about that a lot, even when I study psychology and psychiatry as a medical student. And when I start practicing, my first practice was with patients who stroke survivals, and I was honored to support them in their houses. So I visited them and I used some different tools in psychology and acupuncture, manual therapy, sujok therapy. All of that was possible because people let me enter their places and start conversations with them because identity, something that in that days when you stroke survival and part of your body didn't work, some right now a lot of people emotionally feel like that when stress a lot like overwhelm us. when we get angry and sad very easy, we can stuck in this emotional. Even some thoughts can like just grab us, and some event already gone, but we still live inside because it's part of our biology and psychology. So interesting thing that no matter how many times we will learn about something, this is why I invite you to dive in with these questions that I prepare for you. So you can read, of course, and in the bottom you see the question. And what I try to show you here, if you have kids, of course you can uh, like explore by visiting somebody who have kids, especially little ones who don't know names yet, any kind of labels that we as the adults already learned to be able to manage a lot of different things, system to learn about them. So thinking process, it's a gift, especially if you be able to dive in something that you passionate about. I am for sure know that you have something. Today it's about this spot between experience and thinking. And Eckhart Tolle, one of my teachers, he don't know that he is my teacher, but I learned from him from his books, like for example, Power of Now. He talking about this spot. From Tony Robbins' perspective, I crew his events and I'm study a lot right now, different tools from his university. He named it that kind of awareness and focus that we are starts feeling after the event happens. So we transfer it to something. And this sweet spot, I can say, why it's sweet? Because when Eckhart Tolle mentioned it, one of the event with Tony Robbins, Tolle was invited on Tony Robbins events, and he shared, I discovered when people start asking him, like, what is your biggest discovery in life? He said, it was interesting, my biggest discovery, because they ask about achievement. What is your biggest achievement? And he said, actually, it's not achievement, it's discovery that I be able to train myself to not think too much. So I can visit my sweet spots when I don't thinking. And I think and I feel that it can be beneficial, especially in the moments when we need to be present to make a better decisions, to show up in better state, to make our life like we want. So from this spot, this sweet spot when we can pause, can you imagine how many things you can do differently? And please comment, drop any thought that you have, how it can helps you if you be able to before you experience label, have this sweet spot when you are not running some kind of reflection on this label, because so many times we live with labels around and we not experiencing life actually because the present is gone. So this is what I exactly realized that my little son, he's my better he's my best and better teacher than I think I am for a lot of my clients and patients. And of course, this is a beauty of experiencing to be a father. And I I felt before similar things that helps me to uh, get to that presence, but it's a just additional and more deeper feeling when you be able to absorb it from somebody, not adult practitioner who practice years of meditation, or monk, or like Mahatma Gandhi, or when Tony Robbins did his priming and lead thousands of people. When you be able to learn it from native user who really running just presence. This is my little son Kiana. So why it's important to mention that Presence is something that we can practice more, and what it will give us. Because to be able to succeed in life, we need to learn a lot of different strategies. And this is really mastery. So thinking, it's a process, especially when you can dive in something that you love and you explore and you produce value and you create some systems, you helping people, you solving some tasks, some problems, and bigger task you be able to solve. It means like you create the bigger system that starts from something very little. Maybe it was your imagination, maybe it was your goal, maybe it was your dream, maybe it was some kind of plan, a brainstorm, like it was many people involved. But interesting thing that the brain is just survival machine. What does it mean? It's not good or bad. This is, let's say, it's label for our survival machine, for our mind and our brain. And we here don't telling like how good it or bad it, because we know that when we be able to use it properly, it can create beautiful things, especially when it's collective mind. And at the same time, the collective presence, it's something that usually we are stop practicing when you be able to reflect on energy level. And this is when very important. It's not just intellectual intelligence. It's a fundament of intellectual intelligence, I can say, because it's even before emotions happens. Then the experience and presence, it's even before emotions happens. So we will get some response from our survival supporter who helps our species to survive. He will give us three options: fight, flight, or freeze. Usually people run them automatically. Especially right now for survival in some places like in Kiev, it's the capital of Ukraine. I was born and raised and study medicine there and start my journey before I moved to different countries because I lived in different ones. And interesting thing that people right now using that uh, reflection to save their lives. They need to go to bomb shelter, they need to go to basement, they need to survive. And what happens usually after these kind of stressful things, we continue running the story because our brain care about us. Our mind telling us this is dangerous. You need to do this. You need to do that. This is our expectation. This is our obligations. All of that creates for us a lot of different labels because we need to put all of this together. And no matter how much you will succeed, no matter how much time you will survive some challenge, it will never lead you to happiness. And maybe you can tell me that I am wrong. Like, for example, if you succeed, if you create a lot of wealth, you become happier because it can helps you to solve so many problems. From one point, yes. But I have a question for people who are on the top of the world. Why are they are suicidal? This is what I see on many Tony's events. Tony Robbins, very successful person. At the same time, around him, a lot of CEOs, a lot of presidents of the companies, a lot of very successful people, and they stuck in the emotional loop and they are not happy. Some of them become suicidal with a lot of achievement. So understanding that our brain and our mind can help us to solve the problem, but he will run the show with labels. And this is something that we need to discover before. And this is will helps you to feel deeper and not overreact or some situation, but be a master of your experience. It means that you will choose where your actions, your thoughts, your emotions will go. And it's a very excited journey. So I want to invite you to this. because you'll be able to separate it. You'll be able to separate, okay, where is my survival mode? Where is my brain just like over labeling things? And do I need it right now? So maybe I be able to experience something different, give myself this sweet few seconds. And one more time, I want to point my son experience in the park. So he don't know the sunset. He don't know the tree. He don't know the grass. He don't know any of this. But he experienced his attention grabbed something. He just grabbed my hand and started leading me there. And everybody, each of us have these opportunities to before we start thinking. We have these few seconds. If we will not practice it, this awareness will be covered by reflection and a lot of labels, a lot of rules, a lot of different roles, a lot of different needs, and a lot of different musts will arrived. And one more time, it's not good or bad. It's just something that can just very quickly arrive without giving us opportunity to feel something that happens. So it's not mean that you become a person who will just slow in emotions before making any decisions. This tool that we will practice today, it will gives you moments so you will choose when you wants to make it happen. Not just because you're tired, overwhelmed, and like you kill yourself with some project or life challenge you so much that you feel broken. And after that, you're like, okay, I need to slow down. Maybe you heard these stories right now. I saw it in social media even from overachievers. They make videos like, this is my broken bone, probably my life tells me slow down. I'm overwhelmed and I almost like shut down during the meeting. Probably my nervous system tells me that I need to go and recover a little bit. And people go to the park and showing the 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 videos of themselves. And all of that, it's of course it's necessary, but we don't need to wait when we're thirsty to drink. We can just fulfill ourselves with this energy by using these tools of awareness, of presence. And this is what I learn on everyday basis when I spend time with my son. And ask yourself right now a question. This is what you can see on the bottom. And do you be able to remember the moment when you like saw something without reacting and just asking different questions? Because you have these spots of few moments of realizing I can choose what to think, what to say, how to act. This is when everything becomes even more practical. Because without labeling, we be able to master the flow. So when any kind of situation happens, especially when it gets intense, we be able to pause for a second, understanding that, okay, right now I will make a decision. Okay, right now I have this fight, flight, freeze respond, but I be able to give myself 1, 2, 3 seconds, take a deep breath, breathe in, breathe out. It's one of the Tony's exercise triad it's called, when we can change our state with just few moments of focusing and mastering what's going on around us. And when we put all of this together, tool from Eckhart Tolle, be aware and present without labels. And after that, we choose, okay, in which direction I go. And we can explore it everywhere. So Try it right now. Do you be able to see some things around you? You can look around, pick up something, some maybe if you experience it on the street, you can pick up any object, or if you in the house, any kind of, and just without without label it, just explore it, the shape of it, the color of it, what do you feel about that? And this is few seconds of moment when you're aware much more than when you think. Because after you start thinking, this process is already going. So, very important to lead your thoughts in the direction that you want. Because if you will not be able to master this, your thoughts will lead you in places when you end up in misery, in angry, broken, sick, or destroyed emotionally, when you will be in depression or aggression all the time. So this is very a practical tool that you can use. Even before start too much thinking, give you this sweet few seconds of awareness. And I remember that some period of my time, it was too much stress, too much challenges on the same time. And this picture I make one of my friend who was my mentor in some period of time in business. I built in that days my brand in holistic coaching. Was already a writer of the book, author, speaker, and I travel a lot in Europe, in other countries, in Ukraine. I even visit Russia a few times with different workshops. And in that days, I just transfer my experience to United States. So I bring something that I already have. I know that it can be useful for people. And we did different types of workshops, online and offline. I travel around United States and visit different cities. But when pandemic hits, this picture was make it like maybe month before pandemic hits. This was very stressful and stretching moment for my brain, for my mind, because so many questions. Do I be able to make it? What I should do? My business that I start in Europe before a pandemic, my gym, how I will manage that? All everything that I needs to be there physically because I have my ticket back and all of that in the same time. My mother, like I need to care about her, and my partners, I need to care about them. My property, I need to care about, and because I know that everybody during that experience, COVID, have that moments when brain collapse. And what he's doing, what brain's doing, brain usually, sorry for that, brain usually gives you some three options: fight, flight, or freeze. That's it. This is everything that he have. And because I need my awareness the most in that stressful moment, because we start losing our family members, my stepdad passed away, my mom was kicked out from her house by my step brother who just faked the documents, and all of that was during me in United States, and she was there. So with family members, we be able to move her safely, but it was very stressful. And one of my manager, I found the people and staff for the gym that we just opened before pandemic. That manager just took my place. He talked with the investors that I not be able to run it anymore because I travel a lot. So it happens just during that few months of me being in United States when that stressful situation happens with manager in the in the new gym. This transferring me, like try to put together my businesses, how I will show up. I need to like practice more English. I'm continue to do that. Some of the comments of people was like, you need to practice more English. This is what I'm doing here. Why I'm telling you this story about overthinking. Sometimes our brain just not be able to answer, and he give us three options: fight, flight, or freeze. If you right now understand that this is not the option that leads you to fulfilling and life on your own term, because we have evidence when you are waiting too long because you freeze, you lose a momentum. When you need to step up, when you need to handle conversation, or you run away from some challenge, or you start fighting when you don't need to, and you becomes like aggressive, irritated, and you ruin especially your family relationships, or a relationship with your closed ones. But first of all of that affects us inside. So we can use this tool before something happens in our life. We can use this tool, understanding that, okay, my thoughts, my brain, my this survival mechanism, it's very useful things, but let me spend a little bit more time with awareness. I want to practice it because I need more presence here. From this state, I'm not reacting anymore. I be able to practice awareness. And it can calm you down when you are overstressed, overthinking. And it can bring you back to life when you are very sad and depression, or some kind of state mm, of like losing yourself when you lost. We can say it's the same depression, that kind of spot of emotion that you are just freed and don't want to do nothing. It means you make a decision, don't do nothing. So this tool, when you start practicing to be aware, you be able to get back your energy, back energy of acting in the way how you want. And this action, they of course will be started by focusing your thinking from the spot when you decide where will go your focus. And after that, you will create different emotions and different experience and life. And uh, this is also a reminder that in many cases, when our brain just go to this survival mode, because creativity part, when as our frontal lobe, our neocortex active, this is very creative part. But when things becomes overwhelmed, stressful, very challenging, and our brain don't know how to handle it, he drops in this survival mode. This is what I am pointing out here. So every time when something happens and you not be able to find the answers right here, right now, before that I was overwhelmed, I was stressed out. What do you mean I not be able to figure out it? Even right now when I use ChatGPT, sometimes he leads me not where I want. You know how these tools are working. Sometimes they just reinforce something that you already have. And this is where you need to know which kind of questions to ask and where you want to go specifically. Because that tool, when we're talking about artificial intelligence, he just will point you 10 more reasons why to be more overwhelmed or even stress more, or like something can happen not like you want. Just ask this, and you will have it. So to be able to just give you this sweet spot, do not think too much right now and just switch your focus. It gives you this flexibility of your nervous system regulation. This is everything about that. And this is even science-based right now. You be able to practice this presence. And I'm practicing right now on everyday basis. And one of things that I also saw post today of Jarek Robbins, it's Tony Robbins' son. Of course, he picked it up from his father and start practice it even more and create the beautiful tools and the systems right now. uh, Become very successful and at the same time very aware. He remind about before reflecting on your day when you wake up, give yourself this first hour. If you don't have a first hour, give yourself a 10 minutes that Tony Robbins teach in priming. And this is what I am on everyday basis start practicing, and it becomes more and more effective on the levels of feelings. And when these states becomes yours, you not just understand it, okay, I need to find out how it works. You start picking up some situations. Maybe they happened in the past, maybe they happened recently, maybe they happens right now on this day, maybe tomorrow they will happen. And you know with which tool you want to start exploring it. It will give you more options. It will give you more room. You will breathe differently. You will look for a different experience, more like like alchemist, like, okay, let's see how it goes. Like the life brings something to me, so I be able to explore, learn, and grow. The same event, but completely different state and a different experience. And when you practice it more and more, this state of awareness through meditations, through breathing, through different exercises like Wim Hof teaching in the cold plunges or showers or breathing techniques, all of the things, or you love trance, for example, like people go to do some work that it's you don't need to too much think about. Different types of it can be workout, like when you go running, bicycle, or doing some work that you like washing dishes. Can you imagine you can use it for just stop thinking, do something automatically, and be present in that moment. From that moment, you just manage your nervous system. This is about that. This is when you be able to build this ability, capacity, build this ability, this awareness muscle, I can say. And when you start practicing more, you be able to see that even focus becomes more physical. What does it mean? It means that you're not reacting on things. You'll be able to bring these like few seconds for on your own to make a decision. What I will focus on, what I will think about, what kind of story I give to this situation, and how I be able to execute today. So from that moment when pandemic hits, of course I didn't have any answers, but I start focusing, okay, how I can how I can be effective on everyday basis. What I really can do today, and this is when my need for creating this capacity of awareness dramatically goes up. I start feeling it that I need it, I need it, I need more time in not thinking, I need more time in awareness. And I start practicing just more regularly. It don't mean that I meditate hours. It's mean like every hour or every 2 hours, I give myself a break for a few minutes to be able to ground it myself, use the different tools to be able to do so. And it gives me this regulation of nervous system. Of course, it helps my brain, my mind, but first of all, I feel more free, free from reaction. And please let me know how this tool can help you to master your energy, to master your life force, to master your state, because everything starts from understanding, and to become a master you need to fulfill this gap. It's some kind of practice that we can say we start using on everyday basis. And I want to encourage you to pick up any little things, any little action that you can add to your on everyday basis. Before that few seconds give you awareness more, you will practice it. And at the same time, you need to become a master of direction of your focus and where is energy will goes after that. Because if you just practice awareness and presence without mastering your focus, like to use your brain, your neocortex in the right way. It's mean right way. It means like create the life on your own term with different systems, different tools. You will feel even more lost. It means like you just need to go and practice awareness and meditate hours a day. Nothing bad about that. I know some master people, spiritual teachers, they doing so, and this is their lifestyle. I'm right now in the spot that I'm in the city. I don't have close friends, all my family members around the globe because of war. And I'm from the 19 in United States, and I visit different and lived in different countries. This is a whole like life. This this almost decade like squeeze it, and it gives me so much like experience from different perspectives, I can say. But with this tool of awareness, I be able to see all of this experience differently. Because believe me, I can create a lot of stories like you also about what didn't happen, why it happens like that, why people act like that, and all of these things. So interesting that the story that you're telling yourself about some situations, they can run you. And how you be able to master it, the skill of telling yourself where your focus will go and how you explain to yourself the same event that happens. Maybe it happens again and again. The very painful, I can say painful, the intense emotional in moments when it's about relationships. Of course, when you figure out something with your family members, when they telling you these things like when grandparents passed away and apartments handle the older brother. So I have older brother, I have older cousins, and every time when my grandparents passed away, they just grabbed the places and I see it all over. I just asking myself only when I face it. When it happens with my mom and her older sister, when it happens with my older brother, when it happens with my older cousin, and I'm like, why people do so? Because I have my own blueprint. And right now I understand that people acting in the survival mode, when they run in these patterns of reflection, like I mentioned before, they don't have the practice um, tools to be aware, to experience life, to really feel what's matter the most. And of course, experiencing my uh, intimate relationship with my partners. I was divorced a few times. And believe me, my mind can tell me a lot of stories how I can like blame and point fingers or of about what didn't goes right in relationships because this is something that brain always do. Uh, be aware about that. Like you need to know what can happen next based on the story in the past. Awareness that I'm talking about and Eckhart Tolle explained that you don't need to run your future and your presence based on your experience. Just experience that didn't go in the way how you expect, how you want. Even if you act uh, looks like right things, but you always be able to improve. So that space saves me, I can say. After each breakup, I have this, I face this story, how I can become a better lover and in relationship show up differently, and what I can learn, what I can experience, how I can show up better, or I can end up in misery that I'm not enough because of something, or people did something wrong. So I build like this loop, aggression and depression. So when I be able to start choosing my thoughts and focus from awareness, from this sweet spot of reacting, just being in that moment without like doing nothing, thinking nothing, just few seconds. Because when we practice it more and more, it becomes more and more available. So this is just amount of practice. We practice a lot. You can ask yourself right now, how much time you practice with managing labels, managing different names and different system all day long, because this is how physical life works. And when we start practicing more, not reflection, but creation, without this muscle of presence and awareness, you'll not be able to do so. You will not be able to free yourself from reaction. So when you be able to master this state, you'll be able to put a completely different story on the same event that will empower you more than dispower you. And tell me, please, how it helps you in different areas of life, in your health, in your relationship, in your business. It's rhetoric a question because you know the answer is will be better. But I want you to go deeper and ask yourself deeper how it impacts my life, how it helps me to grow my business, who actually will benefit from it, from my family, from the people around me, how I will benefit from it, of course. So it's create the bigger picture, and it will gives you more curiosity. Where is the space between stimulus and response? This is what Eckhart Tolle teach. This is what Viktor Frankl teach in his work when we're talking about uh, man looking for meaning or for purpose. The person who inspired Tony Robbins in his work. And Viktor Frankl, he passed away already, but all his life, after he survived concentration camps in Nazis, uh, and all of his family was killed, he dedicated his life to help people to figure out where is this spot between awareness and response and which kind of meaning and what kind of actions they can do from that perspective, if that experience can teach you something. And it's very difficult to start a jump in this before jump in it if you'll not be able to practice awareness and present first. So this spot, this sweet spot, unthinking, it can be entry point when you choose, okay, my focus go there, like Tony Robbins teach. And a very heartbroken moment for me, but at the same time, it's a great teacher because in that moment, I feel that emotion, they come and go and they don't ask permission. So grief that I'm experiencing after losing my mom, this is the last picture that we make together when I visit her. She was a refugee in Denmark after war starts in Ukraine. And of course, this was a lot of losses, different one. Most of all, it was identity loss, emotional disconnection, because during pandemic, it was spread around. After that, I visit her in Denmark and get back to work. So I give her a lot of promises, and she believes me because she also have some dreams. But stroke, it's something it's also didn't ask permission because of overwhelming, because of stress, because all family around the globe, and you know that women, especially who loving in their pure feminine energy, they try to care about everybody and they forget about themselves. So that picture of these peers I make right after funeral as a reminder. that she is alive in my life and I can choose what I want to feel. Gratitude, I want to be aware about everything that she gives me, the love, the purpose, the mission, the care, everything that I pick up from her. I will continue living by that. Without awareness, practicing awareness, my brain lead me to I'm not enough. I didn't execute right. I lose momentum. All of that things that can just grab me inside, that I become a victim and I become a prison of my angriness or my sadness. When I be able to practice awareness, practice presence with triad, with breathing, with meaning, with other different tools, but all of that leads to this moment. I be able to choose what I want to feel. And this is just a kind of training. And it's very interesting because you be able to see emotions, your own emotions. It's not hallucination. You don't use any substances for that. It's just comes with practice because many people, you believe or not, 99% of people, they just react. And from time to time, they succeed. They can achieve something in sport, they can achieve something in business, they can achieve something in some positions in some companies. They can even build organizations like in that kind of state, in the courage, in the courage, in this willpower. And usually it's overwhelmed in the end because we see these stories of people who are overachievers, not all of them, but many of them just asking a question for what all of this. So, do you be able to realize that all your emotions that you experience, they just come and goes. Different state, they come and goes. Who experienced it? Let me ask you a question. Who experienced it? Just sit with it. Any experience that you have, any situation, any emotion, even any thought, because it's not your brain, you're not your emotions, not your thoughts, not your spirit, just you, somebody who combine all of these. And this is who you are. So when you be able to practice this awareness, this sweet spot, and this presence, it gives you freedom, release from reaction. And another label that I give to myself, I remember from my childhood. This is a black and white pictures. You can see this is my father, this is my mom father, this is my father father. I spent 12 years with my father. I spent maybe a few years with my grandfather from mother's side. And my grandfather, my father, who was from Poland, he passed away when my father was three, so 3 years old. So my father grew up with a stepdad, and I know that stepdad, Nicholas, granddad Nicholas, who was like my real granddad. But he also passed away when I was 14, I guess, or 15, a few years after my father was killed. This is a story that I create to myself, that I don't have a male figure in my family. I not be able to talk to anybody, who I will trust, how I will build my future. For that 12 years old guy, it was overwhelming. So I start searching in science. I start searching in religion, in history and evolution and biology, everywhere where I can grab some explanations why everything happens like that and why lives bring it to me. And it's not fair, and I'm a victim. And from one spot, from another spot, I need to become stronger. So I just didn't spend long in self-pity because it states that visit me. But from another side, it was my mom and I pick up, I need to become stronger. I need to figure out what to do. I start washing cars when I was 13. Just it was crazy work without it, it was illegal actually. But it didn't stop me that overthinking like do I be able to do it? How I will make it work? And this is was post-Soviet Union country, a lot of insecurity, a lot of changes, a lot of uncertainty. And I remember I feel that from my mom, but she didn't show me. She showed me just love and care. She remarried. My older brother lived his own life. So I create the different stories, and from time to time, they give me strength. From time to time, I feel overwhelmed and just lost, like I'm by myself. Right now, I feel that I by myself making decisions, but I'm not by myself. And different labels that I give to myself, different archetypes, I can say, they can help me or they can destroy me. It depends which kind of I pick up. If I will not practice awareness and this presence, more often I will become overwhelmed, I will become stressed out, I will start to react, and it will be fight flight mode. And you know how it affects our life, what kind of decision we make, how we show up on everyday basis, and what we create in every area of life. So when you be able to give you a moment and ask yourself, who you without all of these labels and thoughts? This is opens the huge room, flexibility. You start breathing differently. You start feeling more free. Because of course, all of that responsibilities, they are there. And your brain will always knock, knock, knock. Let's go there. Let's do this. All of that important. But I'm asking you without permission. I'm asking you, practice it. Pick up these few seconds, this sweet spot when you be able to feel yourself without labels. Even before you was named by your name, how you was, what kind of name you had? Boy, girl, baby, what like what kind of the person was when you just arrived, when you arrived in this body, what was before that? You can go very deep in spirituality or in energy, no matter what you believe, universe, God, Mother Earth, quantum biology or quantum physics, mathematics, nothing so important. I mean, explanation not so important. It's about how you feel without all of these labels and explanations that we need, but they will never lead us to fulfilling our life and especially feel happy and joy and run this moment to something bigger. It means when we create our identity, when we be able to create the life on our own term. So that practice of 90 seconds rule is additional to Eckhart Tolle, Tony Robbins, and Viktor Frankl. It's a science-based tools that 90 or 60 or 90 seconds, it's something that our response arrive because even if you will be aware, it gives you opportunity to see how your survival mode will show up. Fight, flight, or freeze, and you will be able to see it. You will be able to observe it. Observe it. You becomes angry or you become sad, and you will be able to see these from like it looks like from your side. Event happens, people show up in some kind of way, something happens, and here you are. You will be able to absorb it. And I want to tell you just that during major things, losses, experiences, betrayal, or like something that happens in my life, I use this practice, but actually I use it on everyday basis. When I'm raising my son, I'm a single father in the city that I don't have so much friends. I'm creating everything from the beginning. It's actually sword or even more time that like major challenges happens in my life, and I need to like just optimize everything. So this sweet spot of awareness, of mastering my state of presence, this is something that saves me. And of course, I want to pass it by you. And of course, you will create your own puzzles, how it will works for you. And let me know, please, how it works for you. What you pick up, what you will start exploring differently, what you start feeling differently, how it affects your life, your business, your relationship, your health, everything in your life. Because this is a simple tool that we know, proved by biology, proved by science, proved by psychology, psychiatry, coaching, spirituality, is just there, and you practice it before you start learning labels, because before you start naming tree as a tree, because you learn your name and start be aware about your age and the country that you was born and everything, all of this data, because everybody was there. Right now, we need just to get it back. We just need to practice it and wake it up. Unleash, how Tony Robbins said usually, and I love it. So this is something that I use on everyday basis, many times in different ways. And this is when this practice show up. You will make it like you want and use your tool, AI, and any kind of to make it happen for you, more digestible. This is the final message from me to you. You already have it. Start practicing. How you will find yourself before labels, before names. What kind of freedom you will feel and how it will affect your life when you will remind yourself about what you already know without labels, without names, with these few sweet seconds of presence, of awareness, of consciousness. And I want to invite you on this journey. And please let me know, subscribe and share if you feel so. And find me in social media and let's talk. Let's support each other in this journey because no matter what we do in life, these tools that we already have by nature, by spirit, we just need to be aware more. And all of these authors of techniques that I bring you, please dive in, ask any questions, and start practicing so it can lead you to more beautiful, fulfilled life. You can achieve more and you can become more and you can enjoy your life more. To keep momentum going, of course, you can scan QR code or go to my page in YouTube, in any social media. Ultimate Reset Guide based on 5 life force tools that I created. It's free. You can use it as a pivot point. It can be one more tools for you. Before you will create your own, you use somebody who already mastered it. And I'm in the same spot as you. I'm practice it, I'm mastering it. Yes, I have some experience, like more than a decade, but it's not about my experience. It's about your experience and how it will be useful for you. And please let me know. And you can dive even deeper in my free community uh, by school. Alex Garmosi, one of CEO of creating it. This is how I learn to explore these different tools to make my message more useful. So I create a classroom there with different blogs and with different workshops, workflows, and different workbooks with trackers for the more practice and diving in some practice in diving in some practice and some tools. So it can lead you to a health and energy vitality that you want, that relationship that you want, that leadership skills that you want, and of course, emotional and mental state mastering that you want. So this is my invitation. I will see you on the next my workshop, and of course on another side. Let me know how it goes and share with me, please, any kind of your thoughts, your questions, and maybe you have some propositions how I can make this better because this channel about that, this channel about human potential and how supports you. See you on the next episode. Thank you that you are here with me. Bye bye.